So, welcome back to, what's this one? Simon's Journey to Home Cooking Prowess. Tonight I'm making a pork belly. So, I've only done pork belly twice in my life. One was okay, the other one was really shitty, so hopefully this one's going to turn out a lot better. So I've got a bit of a slab of pork belly here. I've just dried it off, and I'm about to have started doing it, but scoring into the skin and the fat. As with all pork, you don't want to go into the meat because you want the fat to come out and render into the actual pork belly itself under the skin, but you also want the skin to crackle, and if you cut into the meat, the blood comes out when it's cooking and it doesn't work. So we'll have a look at that. Just come back from a trip down to Margaret River. Great time, great food. Was had by myself. I went by myself. Sorry, I'm just doing a bit of cleaning while I'm doing this. Bought a lot of wine. I'm talking 12 bottles. Drank a bottle down there as well. Sensational. Love the place. Tonight I'm having a South Australian Pinot Noir with it's only a small bottle, but with pork and pork belly. A Pinot Noir actually cuts through the fat, so yeah, it brings out the flavour of the meat. The fat actually brings out the flavour of the actual Pinot Noir as well. So anyway, I'll be back in 2 secs. I'm just going to make sure this is recording properly, and I'll show you what I'm doing. Alright, so what I've already done, I've patted it dry. So I've obviously taken it out of the pack. I was just looking at the camera talking to it, and it's looking down here. Excuse me. So I've taken the actual pork belly. For one person, this is quite a good size. You can have it tonight and a little bit tomorrow. But I've patted it down, got rid of all the moisture on the skin. I've sharpened one of my knives, the Globals, great knives. And now all I'm doing is in about 1 centimetre intervals, just scoring that skin, which is going to turn into some amazing crackle. Like I said, you don't want to go too deep, so you don't want to go into the actual meat, because that just ruins it. The butcher who's done this has actually scored it, but I don't believe scored it enough. So what I'm going to do once I've finished scoring is place this into the fridge uncovered, and that just helps dry out the skin. You want the skin, or the rind, as dry as possible. So there you go. So just do it again. As you can see, it's all scored nicely, apart from this little part here. Like I said, I haven't done a lot of pork bellies in my life, so it's just something a bit different, something to try. It was cheap. This slab here cost me about $21. Don't know what it is overseas. If I've got any overseas viewers, please let me know. But yeah, so this will go into the fridge uncovered. And what I do next, because like this is obviously, like I've said, this is a not a very regular occurrence for me. I should have left this overnight in the fridge uncovered, but we're not doing that. So when I'm ready to cook, I'll put it on the pork on a wire rack, which I'll use a cooling rack for cakes, in the sink, and pour a jug of boiling water over the rind and pat thoroughly dry. Then I have to rub the roast, so the skin, with oil and salt. And if you like more a saltier crackling, do a little bit more salt on here, making sure the oil and salt penetrate. So you actually put the oil into the scores and the salt into the scores. As you can see, there's a lot of scores along here. So you do all that, make sure that's all done. Place the roast on the wire rack inside a baking tray and cook to 240, or cook at 240, maximum 250 conventional oven, until the rind crackles, so up to 50 minutes. Turn the oven down to about 180 and continue cooking for 25 minutes, and then you let the roast rest before slicing. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use a bit of fennel underneath the roast. It just adds a little bit of the aniseedy flavour through the actual roast itself. Cook it with roast potatoes. I've got some broccoli and I've got some Savoy cabbage. So it's going to be quite nice. So it's what, 4 o'clock, so I'll start doing this probably around about 6 o'clock, so it'll be 2 hours in the oven, and that'll give me time to do a little bit more of one of my models I'm doing, have a beer, watch a bit of TV, and yeah, get all this sorted out. So I will crack on with this in probably about 2 hours, so I'll see you then. Ew. Alright, so there you go people, that's been in the oven, in the fridge for about an hour and a half. So just let it rest out here on the bench for probably about another, what is it now, 25 past 5, so probably about another half hour. Then I'll do what I have to do with the hot boiling water. I might even turn the oven on now to about 240. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. So see you back soon. Okay, so I've got my potatoes on, I've got the oven preheating. Should just put this roasted pan into the oven. There's a bit of oil in it actually, a little bit of olive oil. I'm using Red Island. Let me just zoom in. Focus. I'm not sure if you can see that. Red Island extra virgin olive oil from Australia, probably Victoria, in Wont, Victoria. Put a little on the bottom. Put this in so we can preheat the oil as well. And now zoom back, I'll focus back on this. Back a bit. There we go. So I've just boiled the water. So what this does, it just shrinks the rind a bit. As you can see, it opens up the pores a bit more, the scores a bit more. It just gets the cooking process going. So, there we go. So now all I have to do is put it back and give it a good pat dry with some paper towel. Turn this around over this way, so I'll be back in one sec. Alright, so back again. We'll give this a good pat dry with paper towel, make sure it's thoroughly dry. So the next part of the next part of the process is to oil and salt the rind. Most of it's fairly dry. Let's give a little bit more of a going over. I'll start my new job on Tuesday at my new store. Looking forward to it. So far the people I've spoken to, all very good people there. So yeah, something to look forward to. Gotta miss my normal customers, like the Hannahs and the Fossils or Brian's. there's just too many to name really. But some, like I've just mentioned, Brian, ex-Navy, Hannah, she's a legend. English girl. Who else? It's just too many names. Seriously can't even think. Jessica, that's not my cousin's daughter Jessica, that's another Jessica. And her son Hunter. Got Bianca and Phoenix. Yeah, just too many. All the old ladies that love me. Let's get some salt. I just got a bit of salt that I took down to Margaret River with me. Salt this very well. Not the healthiest food. Just make sure you get a lot of that. Salt and oil into the scores. Just makes it ultra crunchy, as my ex's son used to call it. The crackle used to call crunchy. Oh Simon, can I have some crunchy? No Toby, you can't have any crunchy because it's all mine. It's a joke. Bit more. There we go. Right, now give this a bit of a couple of minutes to just to rest a little bit. Wait for the potatoes to get ready. So I'm just going to do that. Do the fennel. So I'll put the fennel in a little bit later. Just after this has had a bit of time to go. So once this is all ready and the potatoes are ready, we'll come back. Oopsie. Alright, so here we are people. Back again. Just done my potatoes, so they're nice crunched around, so you get some nice crunchy bits. Put this over here. Excuse me, one sec. Get my fork. Oops. Just move the potatoes around a bit. Make sure they're all still with a nice bit of oil there. And now comes the main part. Lovely big chunk of pork belly. Have a look at this. Alright, so just take a look at that, see what it looks like before we cook it. And we'll come back in about 40 minutes to when we put the fennel in. So see you then. Alright, so here we are. Excuse me. Put the old cutting board on the bench here. Make sure that's still in. Yep. So the pork belly. There you can listen. Looks pretty good, I think. Zoom in on that a little bit. The burnt bits at the bottom, that's the fennel. Never cooked fennel right, but yeah, not bad. So what I'm going to do, just wrap the belly, just so we can let it rest. Put the potatoes back in for a little bit. Because they've been out for a little while, so just got to reheat them. So yeah, that are there. Then what I'll do is start doing the rest of the veggies. And the gravy, I'm just going to make a gravy with the powder and a bit of boiling water. So yeah, so once this is all ready to cook up, cut up, I'll come back. Ew. Alright people, so here we go. Let's have a look at this. I'm just going to take a photo of this to send to a few people on the old book of face and shit. It really doesn't look that bad. Hopefully you'll be able to hear it when I cut into it. I mean, it's nice and crispy at the bottom. I mean, have a listen. Yeah. This is the shit, peeps. Seriously, it is good sounding stuff. Have just tried a little bit, and it's really, really tasty. Get a bit of this burnt fennel anyway. You'll be able to hear it. So good. Not very healthy, like I've said. Full of fat, but you only live once, right? There we go. There's 4 bits of pork belly for my plate. Lot left over. There we got the old roasty tates, the old tatties, potatoes, whatever you want to call it, the roasty onion, and now I'd usually drain this, but I can't be stuffed tonight. The Savoy cabbage, bit of the old yummy broccoli, or little trees, broccoli stem, you get all your vitamin C. A little bit more. It's usually a good Sunday roast, this one, but all good to share with someone special. But being single, you got no one special to share with. Now, bit of gravy just over the veg. What am I doing this way? Just pour it. Bit over the meat. Yummo. Don't believe it. For once in my life, it appears that I don't have mint sauce. Oh well. So here we go. Bit of a close up of the dinner of the evening. A little bit of cleaning up to do tomorrow morning. So you've got your roast pork belly, roast vegetables, and boiled cabbage and broccoli. I'll be back soon with a verdict on how good it was. So anyway, out of 10, pork belly, give it a 9. Very tender, very juicy. Crackling was perfect. Flavourful. Oh, it's meant to have a Pinot Noir with it. Forgot all about it. Would have been even better. But I'll have some pork belly left for tomorrow for lunch. Pork belly and salad. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, like I said, stunning, awesome feed. Give it a go. If you want to know, just leave a comment down below, and I will tell you in more detail how I did it. Just remember to like and subscribe. Oh, excuse me. Like, subscribe, and comment, and yeah, I'll see you all later. Oh, and there's a few of my first wave photos that I took. Oh shit, 6 odd years ago. So, have a good one, peeps.